ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. After using their Let's Swim Bahamas program at the University of the Bahamas pool to aid some youngsters from the mud who were displaced by Hurricane Dorian, coaches Andy and Nancy Knowles taking it one step further this week as they relocated to the Betty Kelly Kenning National Aquatic Center.
Decided to take the top 9 kids that were comfortable in the deep water and to take them and put them in the 50-meter pool, which would really test their skills. And after 3 or 4 lessons, we got them up to doing 200 meters easily, a nice freestyle. And that was a big achievement because even though all of them could tread water, they were self-taught to tread water and do underwater breaststroke. Their techniques needed a lot of work, but because they were teenagers and we were able to communicate with them in that way, they were able to improve their stroke.
Today's session in the pool was extra special as Coach Lottie from water polo paid a visit looking for possible talent to add to his program.
They just learn to swim. So compared to that, they really swimming 50 meters, no problem. That's fantastic. Obviously, for a trained swimmer, I can see a lot of technical problem and everything. But this is a beginning, so that's okay. What's happening now, otherwise in water polo, is I put a lot of emphasis of the next generation and recruiting people. So now our very first generation working, the second generation is in college, right? I have a very successful bunch of guys who are now going to college combine and finding their colleges. So now, obviously, I'm focused on 14 years old, and we already have a 12 years old team. I just want to tell you, we're going to Pompano Beach to a Halloween competition to Florida, end of October, obviously, hence Halloween competition. And that's going to be the second U12, 12 years old competition.
Jonquil Jones locked in last night as the WNBA Finals went to a decisive Game 5 between the Connecticut Sun and Washington Mystics. But midway through the third quarter, with the Sun up by 9 points, Jonquil picked up her 4th foul and had to go to the bench. From that point, the Mystics made a run and would go on to win 89-78, securing their first title in franchise history. Jonquil finishing up with 25 points and 9 rebounds.
Sharich now with the ball knocked away.
NBA preseason action also on court last night. Buddy Hield and the Sacramento Kings hosting DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns. Buddy putting up 14 points, DeAndre dumping in 10. The Kings picking up their first win, 105-88. Well, back here at home, preseason basketball action also in full swing over in Bimini. That's where we find our Jay Philippe, who is standing by with the latest.
Thanks, Jonathan. It has certainly been an exciting atmosphere as far as you can hear right behind me. Playing me right behind me right now are 2 local teams out of Bimini, Gateway Christian Academy, going up against the Bimini Knights. But it's been a lot of good individual basketball being showcased so far, a lot of really good teams. Again, this tournament was organized really months ago, but because of Hurricane Dorian, some teams from Abaco and, of course, Grand Bahama withdrew themselves from the tournament. But as of day 1, the opening day last night, some very, very good games. Let's take a look at the action.
Day 1 of the Division I preseason basketball tournament got underway with 2 games on schedule last night at the Gateway Sporting Arena. In Game 1, it was the visiting Abaco Avengers that came from behind in the closing minutes of the 4th quarter to upset Discount Distributors Rockets out of New Providence 79-76. The Avengers were led by Enrico Joseph, who had a game-high 21 points.
We come from all the way Abaco. We'll get devastated from Hurricane of Dorian, so we have to go all out for that, man. We have to go all out because we can't just come here and lose, and we lose our homes. Too much else. We can't take no more else. It's time to take a W.
Head coach Wilman Noel says it was important for his team to get in the win column early in the tournament.
Confidence is key. Once you put your mind to it, David, chop down Goliath. And once you stick with that confidence, there's nothing that you cannot do. And we put God first, we know what's going to happen. And guess who we did it for? We did it for Abaco. We did it for Abaco. Just stick in the game. Don't worry about the talking. Don't worry about what's going on in your life. Stay confident. The mindset remains the same. From me came and we landed in Bimini, we said we're going to give that same energy until the end of the night, until the end of the tournament. We don't stop. We keeping that same energy. So what you see today is what you're going to see and more for the rest of the tournament.
In Game 2, it was the hometown favorite Bimini Knights that ran away with the victory over the visiting Grand Bahama MSC team 84-45. The Knights put on an absolute show with three-point shots from just about every area on the court. Showtime dunks had the crowd cheering as they took care of business and prepare for the next round. Cleo says led the Bimini Knights with a game-high 23 points.
We go in the game by running the ball. We don't stop. We execute the play that our coach gave us and turn out well.
Even with the win, head coach Roosevelt Rusi Lockhart was not pleased with his team after winning by nearly 40 points.
We have a chance to win this tournament. We just have to pay attention to the little things, getting back on defense, not trying to hack a guy every time he goes to the rim. Sometimes you got to let things go. And you just got to pay attention to the transition game as well, you know. But other than that, I think we're going to win this.
But action is certainly heating up here at the Gateway Christian Gymnasium here in Bimini. Earlier today, the Abaco Avengers took care of the Kool-Aid Bombers. That final score was 72-52 again. Abaco is a very, 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 very exciting team. They was able to defeat the Kool-Aid Bombers 72-52. Valentino Simon scored 18 points in a winning effort. Troy Marshall also added 14 points in a winning effort. As for the Kool-Aid Bombers, the team out of Bimini, Jamal Rhodes scored 21 points in the loss, and Tevin Rhodes scored just 6 points. After this game right now will be Grand Bahama that will take on the Kool-Aid Bombers. The loser out of that game will be eliminated from the double elimination tournament, and other teams are looking to improve their record again. So far, the Bimini Knights seems like the team to be looking out for. Also, out of Nassau are the distributors that has a really good team led by national team guard Abel Joseph. They take on the court tonight at 8:30 p.m. So far, it's been some really, really good games. Tomorrow's a championship game at 8:30, and we'll have more action for you. Back at you, Jonathan, in Nassau.
Well, thanks a lot, Jay. On to some other news now. The BAISS private school softball season on the diamond yesterday at the Blue Hill Sporting Complex. An all-Anglican school matchup in the junior boys division between the St. Anne's Blue Waves and St. John's College Giants. St. John's in full control, stomping their way to a 5-1 victory.
We've been practicing on our defense, and we've been working on our hitting as well. So defense and offense really helped us today to win this game. We're going to take it one game at a time and see how it goes from there. The challenge is coming. The group is finally coming together as young boys. We're practicing hard to go as far as we possibly can go.
We came out pretty strong. We scored first. We knocked early on the door. St. John's had a pretty big team, a pretty good group of young guys. They came out, they was able to capitalize on our weak pitching at a few points. They capitalized on our defense, and they put up more runs at the end of the day than us. Eventually, everyone's goal is to play at the Farms, if they're having players at the Farms this year, but our goal is to make it to the playoffs, and we'd like to focus a bit more on our collective focus as players group, because this is a team sport, and I want the young guys to key in on what it is to actually be a part of a team sport and what it takes to actually win a game collectively, because not one man can do the job. We all need 9 guys at the end of the day, putting forward their best foot.
Our men's national soccer team in St. Kitts last night taking on the British Virgin Islands in the CONCACAF Nations League, coming off a 2-1 win over Bonaire in their Group B opener on home soil. The 2-4-2 picking right back up where they left off. Leslie St. Fleur, back after missing the last match, scores a penalty here in the first half to put the Bahamas up 1-0 from the penalty spot, and that's the 37th minute. Second half now, St. Fleur, 4 minutes in, he'll put it back in the net again, and then here comes Happy Hall 6 minutes after that to get his name in the scorebook, and 9 minutes from full time, Quentin Carey putting the finishing touches on a 4-0 win as the Bahamas stayed on top of the group in League C. Team Bahamas with a full 6 points from 2 matches. Bonaire has a win and a loss and sits on 3 points in second, while BVI is on the bottom with 2 losses. Team Bahamas will play BVI again on November 14th at home before traveling to Curacao November 17th to finish up group play against Bonaire. While the Bahamas played on the road last night, Haiti and Costa Rica were on full display in the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium in a Group D showdown in League A. A good one here. Costa Rica on the board first, but Haiti, right before time, they got a goal from their striker. We could tell you his name was Franz Pierre, and he put them into a tie. So this one finished in a 1-all draw. So Haiti and Costa Rica, they are now set up for their next matchup to come in a couple days' time. Haiti right now is in second place in the group. They have 2 points. Costa Rica, that was their first match in the group. Curacao, of course, with a win and a draw. They sit on top of the group with 4 points. That will do it for sports. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.